Chris Collins and HenricK, the Rat bring the chaos. Gaming news and industry talk, they got it all. Rage quitting, head banging, it's a metal brawl. Mental meltdown, gaming in flames. Chris and HenricK bringing the non-notice rage. Video games and viral content, better games, ripping through pixels, the ultimate game to get away. The ultimate. Rave over, I'm feeling the rage. Chris Collins and HenricK on the stage, talking gaming news, industry that can't escape. We're reviewing video games, no need to debate. They bring the heat, spitting truth non-stop with fiery words. They're ready to drop, making waves in the world of video games. Collins and HenricK, they don't play no games. From console wars to DLC scams, they expose it all, making sure no one jams. The audience fired up, ready to explode. When rage quits on, you know it's a code. You know it's a code. When rage quits on, you know it's a code. Rage quit. Rage quit. I'm losing my mind. Chris and HenricK, they're talking gaming all the time. Rage quit. Rage quit. It's a love-hate affair, but I keep coming back. Ain't nothing else to compare. Rage quit. It's a love-hate affair.
What's raging gamers? Welcome to Rage Quit Video Game Talk Show. How you doing, HenricK the Wreck?
Chris, you know what time it is. It's time to rage.
That's right. We got a jam-packed show for everybody that's tuning in live every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, because without your support, gamers, this show would not be possible. Whether that is Meta, YouTube, or Twitch, we can't thank y'all for always tuning in live. And while we're doing this right now, we might as well showcase these wonderful QR codes, as HenricK the Wreck would put it, because this will take you right to our YouTube channel. So go ahead and hit the notification bell. That is the best way to be notified when we go live on air.
And you see that QR code down there? So why not just scan it? It goes to my YouTube channel where there's tons of content just waiting to be watched. So go watch something.
Let's get it. And we always like to start off the show with the bang and show you guys a lot of viral content that is circulating all across the World Wide Web. So let's get it. For International Women's Day coming up, Twitch Rivals is hosting a special tournament built around Overcooked 2, a fast-paced co-op game about teamwork, timing, and keeping it together when everything's on fire. And this is very much a chaotic game. Wouldn't you say, HenricK?
Oh yeah, this is a game, you play with your friends or at least one other person, and you're gonna be yelling at each other, probably.
Yeah, quite a bit. And yeah, this is not an open world game, not a last player standing showdown, but a high pressure digital kitchen where everyone's screaming about who's cleaning the dishes. And I don't know about you, HenricK, but I'll stick to the dishes. You go ahead and you set the plate. You set the table.
You don't want the responsibility of anything else?
I don't want the responsibility. No. I would just want to be in my one little cubicle spot, and then you go run around the kitchen and you let the madness come to your dinner plate. And so, gamers, was this a harmless pick by Twitch Rivals, or did they just kind of fumble with the oven mitts on, if you know what I mean? So let's go ahead and take a look at their promotional event around International Women's Day.
The game is fun, but interesting choice.
You're side-eyeing it a little bit, aren't you?
Representing Women's Day.
Well, that's what let the internet do what it does best, right? Getting all over this, because clearly the first comment reads, unintentionally the funniest thing you dumbasses at Twitch have done in years. But then again, this is the Twitch Women's Guild, and they're doing this as an opportunity to raise money for the youth, the women in gaming, to get that kind of hardware, get those kind of travel expenses to go to these conventions like TwitchCon to be able to build their careers moving forward. But this game, is it always tied to women? I don't necessarily think so. Not all the time. It always seems like it's a husband and wife
there
game.
Is a stereotype around that, So.
Well, remember when it was trending like 6 months ago? It was always a husband dictating where the wife needs to be in the kitchen. Oh, wait. Now I'm going to get myself in trouble, HenricK. You see?
You're going to get canceled.
You're going to get canceled. And then, bruh, a kicking game? Really? I mean, and then that's what I guess begs the question, HenricK. I mean, what's the stereotype for men then? Like a lawn mowing simulator? I don't know, HenricK.
Barbecue simulator.
Barbecue simulator. I know, right? It got me thinking, like, no, genuinely, gamers out there that are tuning in live, like, what's the stereotype for men when you think of video games? And then last, nothing shows how tone deaf Twitch has become than celebrating Women's Day and only showing a cooking game. Oh, so maybe that's a good thought to have moving forward. Maybe diversify it a little bit, just like how you like to have an appetizer. Maybe Overcooked 2 was the appetizer, and then you switch to, I don't know, Arc Raiders or Marathon.
Something, not gender specific to any stereotype or anything like that. Maybe do something popular that people will just play.
But the best part about video games is it brings every gender, sex, all walks of life together. So the fact that people are just upset about this only brings more eyeballs to what the Women's Twitch Guild is trying to do. And I think it's an amazing, cool opportunity for the youth of women and gamers. But hey, we still got more here on Rage Quit, and let's keep it rolling, because just when you thought your squad could take a breather, no, HenricK. Call of Duty is spinning up another 100-player parachute party with Black Ops Royale, and it's a throwback nod to the Call of Duty Black Ops 4 and its original Blackout experiment. And man, they have a lot to offer when it comes to this, but it's on the Avalon map this time, HenricK. That's kind of wild. No gulag, no custom loadouts, no buy stations bailing you out. Are you vibing with this? Are you going to make your return back to the Call of Duty franchise?
It is interesting to see them try, and I appreciate them trying, but I think I'll pass still.
Well, it can't be just you. You can bring your 3 friends and whatever gear
I'm pretty sure they'll pass also.
Gotcha.
Call of Duty had the moment in our friend group during the pandemic, and we never came back to it after that.
But I guess this is where we should throw it to the gamers, right, HenricK? Because is stripping back to that pure scramble and, just resetting the whole series back altogether the right move? Or are we just kind of seeing what they missed the first time the second they hit the ground, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the gameplay features that is soon to be coming in this game.
And you know what? You gotta give them credit. They do have good trailers at the very least.
Hey, well, the wingsuit's making a return, right? I think a lot of people would be jazzed about that. And, clearly we got comments, and I'm actually really surprised they put so much effort into trying to make it like Blackout. This has been a feature that a lot of, Call of Duty OGs have been calling for a while. I mean, Warzone's kind of had that little stale moment for a while. I don't know if it's because the extraction genre is kind of the hottest thing in the new year at the moment, but will this be a move that could potentially bring back some of those gamers that have walked away and have seen the sunset, I don't know, towards Battlefield, for example?
I mean, they got actual competition nowadays, so we'll have to see. Maybe it will bring some people back, but I have a sneaking suspicion it won't be enough.
But then you get comments like this, though, HenricK. No loadouts, no buy stations, no gulag. They literally just described the original Blackout experience that everyone begged them to bring back for years. Sometimes the best innovation is admitting the older version was better. I actually kind of like the move. I feel like some people never even actually got to experience Blackout. So this is an amazing opportunity. It's what a lot of people praise, in a sense, a little bit with what Apex Legend has done, giving people different opportunities with different maps. But like this time around, obviously it's based in Avalon, but just to kind of switch things up a little bit, I think it's really, really nice touch, especially when, Fortnite got really, really sweaty, HenricK, and the Zero build came in. I feel like that only helped Epic Games a lot more to retain a player base within their own game. Wouldn't you say, HenricK?
That's true. I mean, especially in Fortnite's situation, the whole meme, I'm sure even now, you can correct me if I'm wrong, is that when you play the mode where people can build, you make one shot in someone's direction and they build a fortress.
Yeah, I know. It's like... Well, it's what
Yeah.
High Guard used to have. Oh, no, that's just kidding.
Oh.
We might as well move on. And then, honestly, the only thing turning me off from trying out this update is the horror of re-downloading just Warzone on console. Yeah, that's going to be the biggest what if, right? If it is this massive load that we all have to bring on our PC to the PS5 or the Xbox Series XS, yeah, it's not going to be successful, wouldn't you say? Why can't we figure out how to downsize this shit?
Well, no, the downsizing capability is there. They just don't want to do that because that means that they don't take up your entire hard drive space.
Oh, our
they wanna do
playtime
that.
hours will be allocated elsewhere. Gotcha. So they have to
Exactly.
cram the whole system to only make it so you only play one thing. Genius.
Yep.
Genius. Well, guys and girls out there, I'm sure you've all been through this because video games are so immersive that sometimes your fight or flight response clocks in before your brain does. What am I talking about? Well, Emaru, she was just recently doing a game through of Red Dead Redemption 2. Seems like this has just been popping off all over again, and you love to see people jump into this game for the first time. But Emaru had one of those split-second, heat-of-the-moment decisions that makes, the chat collectively lean towards the screen, HenricK, and kind of go like, what the hell are you doing? Can I trust you in real life? The trigger finger would be itching sometimes, but in this case, it wasn't with the gun. And, you got to wonder sometimes, is this the kind of adrenaline that makes sense if you're driving the wagon? Come on now. And so before we start to saddle up and read these comments, have you ever made an in-game decision under pressure that looked absolutely unhinged 5 seconds later. Think about it, gamers.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm usually pretty cool as a cucumber while playing games. You know, it doesn't really matter what game it is. But
You're like all.
you know, probably the most recent addition to these kind of moments from my experience was actually in the newest Resident Evil, because that game has some moments where you have to make a decision in that split second.
Yeah, I
And
never
sometimes
regret
it
my
might not be the
decisions.
best.
It's always on cue.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and take a look.
Hi, bobblehead Pete. Thanks for
What the fuck? Go! No! No! Dude, I was trying to man kill! No!
I need to run. Okay, time for this long, drawn-out cutscene where I skin something as
I
I'm
know,
being
right?
chased.
But it is kind of funny when you just start smacking, your keys on the keyboard, or whether it's, just, button mashing on your PS5 controller. I think we've all been there. We've all at least done that once. And so clearly people had a roaster in the chat, and she said, why can't you skin your own horse? I mean, I guess that's directed
Good
towards
question.
Rockstar Games. What do you mean, good question? This is the Wild Wild West. What are you talking
Hey,
about?
But why would you ever need to do that? I mean,
Why would you never have to
kinda...
do that? What if you have a broken leg horse like they do all the time, right? You ever see those Family Guy episodes? You know what I mean? Peter's got the shotgun. Who's got the shotgun now? You know what I mean? It's fight for survival. If you need to eat, you need to skin yourself. You need to, stay warm in those cold weather. HenricK, it's the Wild Wild West, baby. I can't believe 32,000 people like yourself agree with why would you skin your own horse. Yeah, I couldn't do it, though. I'm a pussy. But maybe if she screams loud enough, everything would be all right. Yeah, I don't know what game brings the best out of you. I think I've said this numerous times on Rage Quit Video Game Talk Show, but there's something about starting off with your ass planted into the couch and then rising up to the occasion when it's 4th down and you're on the 1-yard line and you need to make a score in Madden. Is there a game that makes you do this, HenricK?
I mean, I don't really scream at games like that, I'll be honest.
You're not screaming at your friends in a co-op match
hyped.
recently?
I do get hyped.
Not in Overwatch recently?
Nah. Overwatch, no. I'm just going to get mad at my friends.
No bounty hunters on you as of recently?
No.
And you will have a redemption for a life. Yeah. I guess if the living things is saying you will have redemption, you will not have redemption for life. Excuse me. Butchered that right there. Yeah, I guess that's pretty set in stone. But man, this is Rage Quit Video Game Talk Show. We can't thank you, the gamers, for always tuning in live every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, because without your support, gamers, this show would not be possible. And we just want to take a moment for anybody that hasn't liked, shared, subscribed, and hit the notification bell. Go ahead, scan the QR code. This is the best way to take you directly to the Chris Collins Show.
And look now, that's changed down there because it's now showing the QR code for my YouTube channel. So go ahead and scan that. Go watch some videos. Let me know how they are.
Let's
I'll
get
be
it,
waiting for some comments.
We're only getting started, baby. So are you ready to rock and roll, HenricK the Wreck?
Oh yeah, let's go ahead and load our bullets into our giant gun because it's time to talk about Resident Evil Requiem.
Let's get it.
Hey everyone, this is Pause or Repeat. Here we figure out whether a game is really worth your time and money. Today's game is Resident Evil Requiem. The legendary survival horror franchise is back. This time, they're letting players embrace the heart-pounding survival gameplay that Biohazard and Village refined, while giving you moments of clarity through the rampage of action horror that Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6 brought. You can also, of course, expect series staples, such as a story that intertwines with the other games in the series. But the question still stands: pause or repeat?
Even in his old age, Leon Kennedy is the aura farmer. That is entirely what he's doing in this game.
Yeah, it's really incredible, and I think they made an awesome decision to bring Leon Kennedy back to the Resident Evil franchise. I mean, gosh, there's already been like 11 mainline games just within this own universe alone, and Leon
Yeah.
Kennedy's in 4 of them straight off the bat, and we might as well address it because obviously we have a new protagonist, Grace Ashcroft, who is fantastic and brings her own sense of horror and allure to this awesome universe that's been created from Capcom all these years. Man, what, 1998? It's incredible to see that it's still standing tall 30 years it nearly in the mix. And so do you feel like that was a smart move to lean into Leon's story and kind of closing his chapter in a sense?
Well, everything comes full circle, and obviously we don't want to spoil the story, but it is a nice point now where his story can end, and if there's no loose ends like there was with the way it ended previously for him, he can move on, basically.
Maybe they will just continue to push for these cliffhangers.
Yeah, exactly. So the series has been known for cliffhangers.
Yeah.
And maybe now Grace will come back in another game. We'll have to see.
And honestly, that would not surprise me. And have you ever noticed how in survival horror, the scariest sound isn't the monsters, it's the silence right before it. And I feel like that perfectly sums up what Resident Evil Requiem is all about. I mean, especially when you're creeping down these hallways, you're going to be having, the classic flashlight flickering in your hand, and every door handle feels like it's a jump scare waiting to happen. And so you can't help but notice, even with Grace, though, it is a little funny. She's supposed to be a young gal, I'm assuming she's in her 30s like we are, HenricK. I mean, why is she wheezing around like a 90-year-old smoker, as if she just raised from the 9 circles of hell, Dante's Inferno. You know what I mean? Like, I get that she's got panic-inducing trauma, but this, really, to start off the game?
Think about it, though, Chris. Like, you're in a situation where you could die at any moment. Of course you're going to be wheezing at even the slightest bit of action that you're doing because you're so tense the entire time.
Maybe she needed an inhaler and a flashlight, both in hand as she's using it. You know what I mean? Because, clearly when you were being tasked to go into a hotel where your mother as well has previously died in this kind of place, obviously that's going to bring back a lot of previous drama in your life. I mean, I couldn't imagine like that was a very intriguing setup for a game. And the fact that she was so willing to take on that task, did you see the setup coming right away, or were you just kind of like going with the flow, HenricK?
No, I did. I definitely did. But it didn't take away from anything, honestly. I mean, when it comes to gameplay on Grace's side, even when I was in those moments, I'm like, okay, I know that the monster is going to show up when I go around this corner, or just an enemy is going to show up, not necessarily the chasing monster in that specific level. The kind of like, he's right behind me, isn't he? Like, I know he's there. I know that they're there. But the fact that I can't do anything about it is what fills you with that dread of like, man, I know I need to do this and I have to, but I'm going to have to sit through this scare just to finish off.
And clearly they brought those 2 different play styles that they've been revisiting in the last 4 years, clearly with the the Resident Evil 2 and 3 remake and 4, which 4 is a definitely different play style, which it's a little bit more run and gun approach, and that's why I think a lot of people were very excited when they saw Leon Kennedy make his grand return to the Resident Evil series. But it is still under this shadow of the Umbrella Corporation, and of course it is, right? It wouldn't be Resident Evil. But this time he shares the spotlight with that newcomer, Grace Ashcroft, who is that FBI intelligence analyst. And did you feel like, having that immersive experience where you can toggle between first person and third person in game, was that a smart decision? Did you like that? I mean, obviously we applaud that when we see that in our Fallout universe games, for example, but do you feel like that kind of approach works in Resident Evil Requiem?
Well, it's all about a player preference sort of thing. Me personally, I stuck with what they recommended out the get-go, which is first person for Grace and third person for Leon. And maybe at some point I'll go back and actually try the two characters and the different perspectives, because things get presented to you a bit differently when you have a different perspective, obviously. But at the same time, Leon, I feel like his gameplay, maybe it's just me having known his gameplay through 4, especially being third person, it doesn't make sense for it to be first person for me. But it's all preference, really. And
It was
I
slightly
applaud them
bugged
giving
the
you the
OG
option.
in you.
Exactly.
No, I totally get it. It is an interesting approach, especially when you can choose to get up close and personal over that slightly zoomed out approach that obviously can clearly show you what's up next to ruin your life in game. Yes, and you're gonna want to try both options. I think it's a really, really cool feature. I found myself sticking to the first person for maybe like a couple hours, and then I naturally leaned out of it for the majority of the ride. That's just was my personal feeling through this kind of 9-hour journey with Resident Evil. But I feel like, the combat is deliberate. Yeah, you're going to be feeling the classic survival horror that you get within this series, with everything feeling like they're breathing down your neck. And the puzzles return with, I would say, that balance and a sense of frustration of like, what the hell, am I still stuck here for 30 minutes? Yeah, you're going to have that.
Yeah.
Game.
No, definitely. It is through and through a Resident Evil game in every respect of that. Expect the same kind of wacky, who even made this kind of puzzles to be showing up, especially when you're playing as Grace. At one point I was trying to find 3 cubes to put into a door. Who designs a door like that just functionally in the first place? Come
Yeah.
on. It makes no sense, but it makes sense in a Resident Evil game somehow.
Makes sense in a Resident Evil. Right, yeah. And without trying to give away too much, which is tough. I mean, clearly the second half of the game is full of so many trinkets and surprises. And for the OG fans, I know they're going to be savoring. It's mouth-watering. And
Oh, yeah.
for the newcomers,
Yeah.
I just kind of wonder, was it the smart move by Capcom to lean so much into the story more, instead of like trying to play catch up in a sense for the newcomers? You catch my drift, Henrik? Like,
Yeah,
some people
I
feel
get what
like
you mean. It's
Resident
like,
Evil
do you
could
start
easily do a
to-
hard reset if they wanted to.
Yeah, you're feeling like maybe their approach almost alienated people who are new to the series on this game.
Yeah,
rather
like
than
skeptical. I do even want to buy it.
embrace
It's the
them.
9th game, right? Technically 11 in the main line. You're like, I'm a little
I think it's
overwhelmed.
not
Where do
a
I
problem
begin?
though, and I'll tell you why it's not a problem. They played this out
Okay.
pretty smartly. They remade 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so they introduced you to, in those games, if you were someone who's been watching the Resident Evil games in the last few years, you've
Or even the
probably
movies.
already known, or the movies, I guess. Yeah, you've probably known who Leon is as a result of that. And even if you don't, just the fact that they have callbacks to certain moments from those previous games, I'm pretty sure makes people curious. Like, oh, well, like, let me go back and play 2 and see what happened in that, and then maybe
That's a
the
good point,
story will
especially
make
when
more
you
sense to me.
30 years after, for Raccoon City, and to be
Yeah.
a newcomer and see that, I can only imagine, like, you're missing out, like, big time. Without trying to
Yeah.
give away too much in the second half, but, like, to go into Requiem without playing, let's say, Resident Evil 2, you're doing yourself a disservice. I gotta say, I don't know how people can be playing backwards, but then again, there is a world right now where people are checking out Knights of the Seven Kingdom before Game of Thrones. But that was a prequel. So that's what's
true.
kind of, wild to see, that, Resident Evil is making that return. And clearly, like, Grace's story is a little bit more about isolation. What are they really not telling me? Even though I'm supposed to be this FBI informant that's supposed to know all the answers. While Leon's arc is kind of leans into that fatigue. The cost of being the franchise's eternal first responder with that badass Porsche, I gotta say. And everybody
Oh, yeah.
even called it out on it. I think it's funny that you can't even shoot
You guys got
the
money
car
now
in
all
the
of a
game.
sudden.
He's got money, but he clearly knows where to point the gun at, and the Requiem ain't going towards the Porsche, okay? But
Yeah.
I feel like this game's got a really, really nice balance, but Is this the top tier Resident Evil entry in your book, HenricK? Is that like gonna lead the charge for future runs?
I'm gonna say, at least in the sense of a Resident Evil game, this is like a perfect Resident Evil game for people to play if they're a fan or not a fan. If you're a survival horror game aficionado and you love that genre, you'll probably love this just the same as any of your favorites that you already have. And that's also for me being a horror fan. I think that even the moments of dread and atmospheric building and the jump scares when they do happen, they're tasteful. It is entirely a masterclass in how to do environmental storytelling and horror, and all the little bits and pieces that I really appreciate about horror are all in this package.
Yeah, no, it's if this is the future of gaming, we are in a great place because this looks like a game where you clearly want to have that VR experience at one point as well. I don't know about you, HenricK. It might be a controversial take, but I feel like Resident Evil 2 is a little bit scarier, in my opinion, than this game. I know some people really vibe with some of the new villains, and there are some great jump scares. But during that Resident Evil 2 remake, oh my gosh, I felt like I was fearing for my life a whole lot more than this one. But I would say the story and just from the beginning to end is a lot more captivating and Requiem. And trust me, you do not want to miss this. And clearly, this is a front runner for Game of the Year. Wouldn't you say, HenricK?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's only the third month in to the year.
Isn't that
but
wild?
It's definitely going to be the one one of the games from the year so far that people will look back at the end of the year and be like, yeah, that needs to go in the contenders list for sure.
Yeah, exactly. You got to bag this thing up. Resident Evil Requiem is a repeat. That's what I'm going with, HenricK. So I'm curious, what's your thoughts on it? What's the verdict?
Well, if it wasn't clear based on the fact that I gave it so much praise as a horror fan and a Resident Evil fan, it is a repeat for me as well. This is going to be a game that I sink my teeth straight into. I'm probably going to watch other people play it as well, with me right there watching them.
Yeah.
Just
it is a fun game to watch people's reactions. That is for damn sure. And we want to know from you, the gamers, are you going to be jumping into Resident Evil Requiem, or is this just a pause to be playing something else? Because clearly this is not your forte. Let us know what's good. But man, we got so much more here left on Rage Quit Video Game Talk Show. So HenricK the Wreck, are you ready to rock and roll, my friend?
Oh yeah, Chris. We just talked about guns. So instead, let's pull out the grenades. All right? Because we got explosive topics this week.
You ain't lying, dude. Let's get it. What's good, listeners? Welcome to Patch Notes, where my co-host HenricK the Wreck and I discuss gaming news, industry talk, and so much more. Let's get it. Hope you didn't plan anything responsible for the month of March. I mean, dentist appointments, forget that. Take a cavity. Put it on me, all right? You can cancel them, all right? You got productivity, postpone it. This month showed up like it's your own free time, and let's just say you better clear up your hard drive space, because we got a lot of great games that we're going to be introducing that we feel is a must play for all the gamers around the world. So let's get it. First up, the sci-fi extraction shooter that survived delays, debates, and enough online think pieces to qualify for a college course. Wouldn't you say, HenricK? I mean, Harry Styles had his own course. Taylor Swift
People
had his own course.
have already been analyzing this game.
So now it's Marathon who is finally stepping onto Tau Ceti 4 and saying, let's try this all over again. And yeah, they had the open server, but now it is officially about to be dropping this week from the studio behind Destiny 2. You already know the gunplay is going to feel even smoother, and you know you're definitely not going to be wanting to miss any kind of free time playing this game, because you're going to be dropping in, you're going to grab the loot, you're going to attempt to leave before someone else introduces you to the respawn screen, and you got all kinds of runner shells to choose from. Bold art direction, which I know a lot of people have been going, what the hell in the Nintendo Switch is going on here, especially with the Splatoon kind of action. But this is a high stakes exit, wouldn't you say, HenricK?
Yeah, and you know, when it comes to the aesthetic, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to look foreign and unintelligible in places because it's a dystopian cyberpunk future, guys. Of course, people are not going to be dressing the same as they are right now.
Exactly. This is how I imagine capitalism in space. Okay. And
Yeah.
so the question is, are you built for the pressure of grabbing the bag, or are you ready to risk it all on a planet that absolutely does not want you there? Let's go ahead and check out some of the gameplay from Marathon.
I am cautiously optimistic about this game, and that's really because I'm sure Bungie is going to, you know, knock it out of the park when it comes to the overall fit and finish and polish.
Oh, I think I might have lost HenricK the Wreck. We got a little bit of a glitch going on here. Let's see what's going on. Oh, wait, there we go. We got you.
Oh.
I know. You're like,
Sorry
wait,
about that.
I'm like a moving avatar NPC, please. You were like, no,
I was
finish your
saying
thought,
I'm
Henry.
cautiously optimistic about this game because I know it's going to be good to some extent, at least. It's just how good is it going to be? Is it going to be willing to bring me back into extraction shooters one time, or is it going to be a time and time again sort of thing where I want to keep wanting to come back? We'll have
Yeah.
to see.
Well, you know, obviously, it's unfortunate to even see, you know, the likes of like High Guard even getting their final update, their final patch note, closing down for good and giving everybody an opportunity, I think, until the 12th of March to be able to play the game. That's crazy. And that was a free-to-play experience. This is a game that you have to pay $40 to jump into this kind of extraction shooter. And, you know, I know there was a lot of flack in the beginning of the open server about, you know, certain demands that they wanted. Some people felt like they weren't getting enough kind of enemy on enemy within players inside of each other's maps, and so I know they increased the count inside of you know, each server. So I think that's going to be a definite plus for Marathon. It's going to be cool to see what the future brings. And so if you want another extraction shooter other than, let's say, Arc Raiders or what Battlefield was trying to do to shake things up, well, Marathon might be just for you. And it launches on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series XS on March 5th. And because humanity still hasn't solved the zombie problem, because apparently there's another zombie game. Oh, yeah, Resident Evil Requiem that we just talked about. But no. We're not talking anymore about that universe. We're talking about John Carpenter's world, man. If HenricK, I mean, you might as well lead the charge, man. John Carpenter, who is this cat in the horror space?
Well, John Carpenter is a legendary horror film director. In fact, he is the director of my favorite horror film, The Thing.
And what the hell is he even doing in the video game space? Well, he's got a new game that's dropping this month, and it's called Toxic Commando. And he is the mastermind behind, you know, Big Trouble in Little China, which he's bringing that 80s action energy to this co-op shooter where, you know, subtlety is absolutely not invited. And you will see real soon when you check out this gameplay footage, because we're talking vehicles, we're talking hordes, explosions, and that kind of over-the-top madness where someone yells, "Get in! Come on, bro! What are you doing? HenricK, come on, let's go! You're ruining the game. Come on. You're dying." Up. We got to bring him back up again because he keeps trolling along another 50 meters the wrong way. Well, this is the game for you. It looks loud. HenricK and I would definitely be looking ridiculous playing this game together. And it looks like your squad's next argument waiting to happen in the Discord chat. So what are you waiting for? Is this the chaotic zombie ride your crew needs, or have we officially hit the undead overlord? So let's go ahead and check out John Carpenter's Toxic Commando.
Just looks like the right amount of campiness and action. I love it. I'm loving what I'm seeing.
I feel like everybody's been asking for like a Left 4 Dead experience. I know even there was false reports out there where like Call of Duty was going to get their own solo zombie game, and if you were disappointed that that rumor didn't come true, well, you better thank the fantastic director of John Carpenter bringing Toxic Commando to the video game space, because this thing looks so freaking badass. And I can only imagine in John Carpenter's world, if this becomes a fan favorite with the gamers, I'm sure he's going to probably want to produce and get a young director to bring Toxic Commando to the big screen. Wouldn't you say, HenricK?
Oh yeah, it's definitely possible. I mean, he's still a very well-known and respected director in the film industry, so he could easily do that, I'm sure.
I mean, it's going to be a badass ride. I cannot wait for it. Everybody likes a good zombie shooter. And John Carpenter's Toxic Commando launches on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series XS on March 12th. And finally, we pivot from the multiplayer mayhem to a sweeping fantasy ambition. Crimson Desert, the successor to the Black Desert Online, is trading the MMO grind for a massive single-player open world. And Pearl Abyss says that the land of Piewell, is that what we're calling it, HenricK? Piewell? I mean, they're saying it's so, enormous. Yeah. It's so you're probably going to have no video games to play for the next 3 months because they're making it sound like it's that enormous. It's reactive, and it's shaped by your choices, and so it's power vacuums. You got roaming monsters, secrets tucked in every corner. Basically, your to-do list is longer than your attention span, and that's what they're banking on. And it looks bold. Wouldn't you say, HenricK?
Oh yeah, bold and in your face and just tons of fun.
And it looks expensive, and it's that kind of game where you just kind of go, I think I might go over there and explore for like 5 minutes, and then suddenly it's your next day and you just received a call from your boss saying that you're late an hour for work. That's going to be Crimson Desert. And so which side are you more ready for, being scared to move or being armed to the teeth? And let's go ahead and take a look at Crimson Desert.
You know, I never really played Black Desert Online, but I love seeing a story like this where the studio behind a live service game decides, man, you know, I think we can do something more than live service. We can just do a really good single player experience. I mean, we saw this with the studio Shift Up that did Stellar Blade. They did an amazing game with Stellar Blade, and they're really known for the mobile game Nikke Got Us a Victory.
Yeah. No, this thing looks freaking fantastic. I'm getting like senses of like Game of Thrones, which is that Lord of the Rings in a sense. We're all itching for the next Skyrim in the Elder Scrolls universe, and so you start seeing like open world games like this, or even The Witcher, for example. Everybody's excited for that, and then you see Crimson Desert. I feel like this is such a sleeper. I'm almost ready to bank that this is going to be in the top 3 most talked about games in 2026. I truly think it could lead that run for the game of the year. From everything that I've seen with this game, it looks so freaking beautiful, so freaking fantastic. I can't wait to ride a dragon. Holy cow, I can't wait to do it. And if you want to be like myself, Crimson Desert launches on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series XS on March 19th. And as you can see, week
Get your
by
fantasy
week by week,
on.
dude, week after week after week, we are going to get slammed with must-play games. And now it's your turn, gamers. We just said it. March is stacked. We got the sci-fi loot runs, the exploding zombie road trips, and an open-world epics that will eat your weekends alive. But the real question is, what are we missing? What is a game that we haven't mentioned that you cannot wait that is dropping this month that deserves the spotlight? Let us know what's good. But all right, HenricK the Wreck, what's got the U.S. government involved in gaming this week? Break it down.
Well, it's coming from New York, as New York's Attorney General just looked at loot boxes and said, "Is this a video game or a tiny casino wearing a headset? You know, is your mouse just one of those slot machine levers? You know,
Yeah, it's starting to
that's
feel.
kind
I
of
mean,
what she's kind of saying at this point,
I
right?
guess you can move it up and down. I mean, I guess it does kind of resemble,
Guess so.
the pulling.
And so the office of Letitia James is suing Valve, the studio behind Counter-Strike, Team Fortress 2, and Dota 2, arguing that loot boxes and the whole Steam community marketplace feels less like bonus content and more like a slot machine that drops virtual cosmetics instead of quarters.
Well, yeah, I mean,
So-
it's kind of wild that people are even selling Counter-Strike skins, but that's another topic.
I've actually heard some people make some bank on there.
We've
just
covered
selling
it
their
before in
skins.
previous seasons, in the millions. I'm just like, I'm amazed. But yeah, go
Yeah.
on, Henrik. I mean, it's insane. It's cool. It's like no different than
So-
trading card games making a
No,
comeback.
yeah, that's actually
know?
that's a perfect way to put it, Chris. It's just
Yeah.
like trading card games. So gamers, are loot boxes just optional flair or flex culture, or are we basically just swiping a credit card for a scratch off ticket that happens to be a rare skin in Counter-Strike or something along those lines, you know?
And when you frame it like that, Henrik, a little bit. You know what I mean? You pay $2 hoping to get 20 grand. You know what I mean? So I can see that, but I'm curious what gamers have to say online. The first one reads, it's long overdue to put an end to loot boxes, or at least to ban children from playing games that have them. Loot boxes encourage gambling addiction, with the follow-up comment that reads, every state that has legalized sports gambling has seen dramatic rises in bankruptcy and male suicides over 40. And do you feel like all loot boxes should be entirely removed as a game mechanic? Seems a bit aggressive.
Here's the thing that's really funny about it, because you have moments where it's like this, and you're like, yes, loot boxes, it's gambling, shut it down, right? Which, by the way, I feel like we've talked about this back in
Lots of
2018
times.
already.
Too many times.
It's been brought up so many times at this point.
Yeah.
But then you have moments where I can think of where, like, the original iteration of Overwatch had loot boxes, and maybe people weren't too happy about the fact that it was technically gambling. I know even in some countries you wouldn't actually get the skins out of the loot box. You'd get credits that you could then purchase skins with.
Yeah, right.
All right. But then Overwatch 2 comes out. They get rid of loot boxes. And what happens? Well, everyone's mad now that you got to actually pay a ton of money to get these skins outright.
Yeah.
So you can't win.
Yeah, they're like trying to find that balance of giving other players an opportunity to not pay in full, but to throw a little bit amount in to be able to potentially pull the one rare weapon skin or the one rare character cosmetic. And do you have a problem with that? That's why I was saying it's like, the trading card games. Pokemon just celebrated 30 years of the trading card game universe. And so,
That's
Topps
crazy.
is making a reemergence all over again. Everybody. And so do you have a problem with that? Catering towards a gambling culture? Do we have to bar kids from buying sports cards moving forward? I don't know. But then you also get a meme like this. These games are not for kids. And I think that's an excellent point. I feel like Letitia James would have probably had a better argument if she went after Electronic Arts and the whole idea around Ultimate Teams. But then again, that kind of leads back into the whole trading card philosophy. And are you willing to pay for a digital card online where you can hope to get a Ronaldo, for example? Those are things that easily can get explored, but that's the same argument like even a man Macron was saying too. He's like, hey man, I just kind of feel like if we can get enough evidence or more scientific research that can back these kind of supports, then maybe we should be pressing more regulations on video games. And it just kind of feels like, why are we going after this when maybe Roblox should have a little bit more attention?
Yeah, like there's bigger fish to fry. We're focusing on the wrong people. It almost feels like.
Yeah, like I know you're saying protect the kids, but like let's protect the pedophiles before kids want to spend their money. That's just all I'm saying, okay? And then the next comment reads, "Why only Valve? At this point, these freaks want to shut down the only good service." And I think the massive problem, HenricK, is the fact that they got the Steam community market, right? And the fact that Valve gets to profit on a system where like they created the Counter-Strike game, they created the loot box mechanic where they have all these sapphire knives and this and that going around, and then one person gets excited, and then they can pay off their college tuition within the next couple hours when they throw up on the community market. They feel like, what is really going down? Who's regulating this? Is this a money laundering scheme? I mean, HenricK, you were telling me behind closed doors about RuneScape and about how there's a little bit of drama with, what's that now again?
The Venezuela country is notoriously known in RuneScape to harbor a bunch of, well, I shouldn't say harbor because that's kind of making it seem like it's illegal. It's not really illegal what they're doing in the sense, but they're gold farming. And a lot of people are employed in Venezuela as gold farmers for companies that will sell the gold to players in bigger countries like the United States. And they do this because it pays very well compared to a lot of the other jobs that you can get in the country.
Yeah, and the fact that that's even a thing is so freaking insane. And I think that's why, you know, even New York wants to kind of crack down on it and just kind of explore, like, why does Valve even allowing this to be a thing? But then you get the classic meme. He's got that, you know, he's probably rocking this look while he's on his super yacht. But Gabe will win again. So a lot of people kind of feel like nothing's going to happen to Valve. New York state law can do everything in their power to try to tackle these surprise mechanics in a sense. But is this, you know, are loot boxes getting out of control? Is it starting to kind of feel a little bit like a casino marketing? I remember at one point when I was playing Grand Theft Auto 5, I feel like here in the state of California, there was a moment where even if I had my own pad in game in the Diamond Casino, there was a period I remember where I couldn't even play blackjack. I couldn't even play the roulette wheel. And I'm thinking, how crazy is that I'm getting blocked from playing an online featuring game, even for a mature game like Grand Theft Auto? And so do we really want local, state, and federal government to really start to crack down on every little bit of game mechanic that we have out there? It's even what we talk about all the time, HenricK, when we get scared for when the U.S. comes down on copyright laws when it comes to patents with game mechanics. So, yeah, it's crazy, dude.
Yeah, and it feels like, at least in the last year or so, just Valve has been targeted by so many different people trying to attack them with lawsuits. It's actually really crazy. And this one now comes, like, I want to say days after they won against the Rothschilds in the lawsuit that they had against the Valve for some silly thing, which is a whole different topic. But anyways, yeah.
Well, what they do say too, HenricK. Oh, no, go on.
I was going to say, when it comes to this, I mean, it's hard to say what is the exact perfect monetization method for a game. I would say probably the closest we've gotten is going to be battle passes, but at the same time, even that has flaws, you know. And
yeah, it sounds like what the New York, you know, is trying to convey to Valve is like they want them to practice what Epic Games and everybody else does. If you're going to sell a cosmetic skin, you sell it at a fixed rate. Don't put it in a box where it gets randomized and then you're going to shoot out an uncommon, common, an epic, or a legendary. Because the fact, again, is they are letting players sell the items they won onto its virtual marketplace, which you referenced right at the beginning, the Steam community market, and on other marketplaces, which they feel like are unregulated in their own state and on a federal level, which if they win in the state, they can make a, you know, another case, you know, across the nation. And that's kind of wild. And on a final thought, HenricK, their biggest point is from citing the Massachusetts Department of Public Health, which they argue that children introduced to gambling by age 12 are 4 times more likely to become problem gamblers as adults. And yes, we're in the rise of DraftKings, FanDuel, Prize Picks, you know what I mean, to name a few. Fantasy football is such a massive thing, and I'm sure kids are getting started with those kind of things a lot earlier than I
at
ever
the same
got going with
time,
fantasy.
like one of those comments said, a lot of these games that have loot boxes are not meant for kids. So is this a parenting problem more so?
Yeah, should gamers take responsibility for their own spending, or does the system deserve more scrutiny? I think that is the perfect segue to just kind of wrap up on this thought, right? You know, and so for the gamers, are loot boxes harmless little cosmetics for people who like to just stunt digitally? Or are we all just lining up at a virtual gas station counter at your favorite liquor store, buying mystery tickets and just praying for the neon shoulder pads or your sapphire knife? Let us know what's good. But man, let's keep things rolling, because Sony just looked at the PC crowd and said, yeah, you know that field trip? This thing is, we're wrapping this shit up. Everybody get your ass back on the bus. And what do I mean by all this? Well, after 6 freaking years of sharing its biggest single-player experiences with the keyboard and mouse, sorry, HenricK, Sony is keeping its big single-player crown jewels like Ghost of Yotei and Sorrows locked inside the PlayStation 5 vault. And when I said, what does PlayStation 5 have to look forward to last week, this is not my intention. That's not what I meant. We know we're all excited for Wolverine, but this is not what I meant. But they are promising, though, gamers, that multiplayer plays like Marathon and Marvel Token still get a hall pass across these platforms. And so, before we scroll through the debate arena, is this Sony doubling down on what makes consoles special, or quietly admitting that sharing the stage with PC didn't boost the box office after all? And so let's go ahead and dive into the comments, because a lot of gamers had numerous thoughts around this. And so the first one reads, y'all joked way too much about the PS5 not having games. Now look what happened. End of an era, I guess. Now PS5 games will truly be PS5 only, seemingly forever.
You know what? Until that list of exclusive games grows beyond maybe 20, actually probably, let's say more than that, actually, because 20 is not that many. We'll say 50 at the max. I'll then consider that their strategy here is a good one. Because, come on, guys.
But, you know, it's like
you
I was
really
saying
don't have that many games out there.
But it was like what I was saying in previous shows. I really felt like the console war was over, and we're entering this new era of IP war. But because, you know, clearly Microsoft and Xbox are like, you know what, hardware's dead. This is not where things are going. We would rather embrace the multi-platform route. And, you know, PS5, remember, they've always kind of had all these, like, shaky launches to the PC. You never knew when The Last of Us Part 2 was going to go to the PC. Everybody just always assumed, like, oh, yeah, it's a 2-year window. And that always wasn't the case every single time. And then to come to find out, which is hard to believe, I guess the sales for the PS5 single-player experience was not meeting the expectations that Sony Interactive Entertainment were
now, the
banking
question
on.
then is that because people were waiting on PC ports, or is it because the game itself just wasn't captivating people? And I honestly wager to say it's maybe a bit of both, but people will play your game on whatever platform as long as the game is good enough to bring people in. It doesn't matter whether it's on PC or not. Look at a game like GTA 6. GTA 6 is gonna sell record-breaking numbers before even coming to PC because everyone wants to play it. You can't say the same about Spider-Man 2, can you?
Ooh, shots fired. I like that. But hey, what about this comment, HenricK? They just love making decisions that cost them money. Laughing out loud. It's really a gift they have. And yeah, I remember they had a very high balloon cost in development for a lot of their AAA games. You know, Horizon Forbidden West, you know, The Last of Us reaching over $200-300 million. Obviously, Naughty Dog. I'm assuming is probably now going to be locked onto this PS5 exclusive, and maybe they're anticipating like, wow, this is actually a really, really good game. Why should we let everybody's hand get stuck in the cookie jar? No. Not everybody is gifted a Klondike bar. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like this retraction is in part because of the success that the Nintendo Switch 2 is having with their exclusives, and they're probably seeing such a fast success within the first year of that, thinking, man, did we really screw up? Just ponder on that, gamers. Did they screw up on that? Is Nintendo actually right to not make Mario and Peach join along for the Steam machine? But then you also get comments like this. This is hilarious. A meme that goes, Sony is no longer porting PS5 games to PC and is returning back to console exclusives indefinitely. So, I get it, Henrik. Sony saw CJ busting Kratos in Atreus' ass and then said, enough is enough, all right? Even like Ice-T was trending. He goes, I wish Thomas the Tank Engine would have showed up instead of that creepy-ass spider in Resident Evil Requiem.
Hey, you know what? This actually might be a part of it because, you know, in the wet, and here, listen out for me for a second here, guys, okay? Because when it comes to modding a game, in the Western countries like United States, most of Europe, all that, the culture around modding is, yeah, it's fine as long as it doesn't interfere with any PvP aspects, right? Well, in Asia, and a lot of these games are being made in Japan, Sony is a Japanese company after all, they view modding as you're just straight up cheating. Doesn't matter what kind of mod it is. It could be CJ knocking out Kratos, and they're going to think that it's, in their eyes, a form of cheating.
Right. Well, you know,
So,
it's also
hey, it could
too
be.
where I feel like when it does become a PC port, that's where a lot of the you know, the emulations start happening and people start, you know, touring a little bit in a sense.
Well, the thing is, the
different games.
emulation, that's going to happen regardless of whether or not it gets ported over to PC. I mean,
Maybe they saw the Stop Killing Games
people-
initiative and they got really, really scared and they were like, wait. We can't keep throwing these games on the PC servers if we can't keep these games alive. Might as well just keep them on the console and just tell the gamers, like, hey, listen, look, like if you have a CD, if you buy the online content, you can play it on our console. But if it's drifted up on the abyss of the World Wide Web, that's not our problem when it shows up on
to
you know,
throw
these-
Spider-Man 2 under the bus again.
Yeah.
I saw people playing that on PC before it even got ported over to PC. So do what you will with
So you're
that
basically
knowledge.
saying, let Sony do what they can do. Gamers are going to find a way to be able to bring it to the masses, whether it's illegal or not illegal.
Yeah,
And then the last
eventually will
comment is,
happen.
right, yeah, fair enough. And then moving forward, PlayStation will put its complete focus on the PlayStation ecosystem, just like Nintendo. Exclusives aren't antiquated. They are part of the industry. Today and tomorrow, Xbox tried something else, and it cost them their brand identity. It's never too late. And yeah, as we discussed last week, a lot of people are very fearful for Arsha Sharma, you know, basically, you know, taking that charge, you know,
Yeah.
as she has no background in video games and she's had previous jobs with AI. And yeah, we'll just have to kind of see what's good. I mean, HenricK, does keeping single player titles locked in make them feel bigger for Sony?
I would say no. I really wish there was a future in sight where, you know, even the likes of Nintendo games would be available on every console and every PC platform, because that would be perfect. You know, you give the choice of hardware to the gamers themselves, and they'll choose what they want at that point. It's not a matter of, I need to choose this company's hardware to play their games. But at the same time, hey, you know, a lot of people did make fun of Sony for not having PS5 exclusive games. So maybe that is their response of all this online discourse about that. But like I said earlier, until they have a large selection of exclusive games, I won't take them seriously about that.
Yeah, I guess the real test is going to be Wolverine, because I'm assuming now Wolverine is not going to be a PC port, and so they're going to be banking on Marvel IP, Wolverine, and seeing whether that will be able to bring back those folks, because there have been, analysts reporting out there, highlighting that over 60% of Sony gamers on the console their playtime is heavily involved with the single player experience. And so like, oh, hey, look at that. We got a special guest, Cece, in the building. She's clearly not a fan of the multiplayer experience. She thinks she
She's
wants
like,
to, I think that's what she was,
bring
a
the
little bit
games
of
to
Paw
every
Patrol. Yeah,
platform.
she's like, let me give you my thought. But anyways, Dallas Gamers, is exclusivity a power move in 2026 or a retreat dressed up as tradition? Let us know what's good. But all right, HenricK the Wreck, it wouldn't be Rage Quit Video Game Talk Show without talking what gamers and players are saying on Reddit today. So break it down.
Well, players love to say, don't judge a game by its cover. Come on, guys, let's let it sink in and enjoy the gameplay maybe first. Yet, we've all scrolled past the game because the box art looked like it was designed on Grok's AI.
Yeah, there's some god awful ones too. Like sometimes we're like, you even look
There
back
are.
on even the Final Fantasy artwork. You're like, I don't know. Even when I grew up as a kid, I used to judge that cover and go, that's got to be super lame. And then the cover art is like nothing to do with the game, right?
That's true. Yeah.
So
yeah.
don't do me. Don't do what I did. They're fantastic.
So now Reddit is asking, what is that random zero research game where you just looked at it and you said, you know what? Yeah, why not? Let's give it a try. Oh, let's be a little spicy today.
Yeah, especially with that like no pre-knowledge of any kind of game. Think about that, gamers. We want to hear from you. Join along for the chat. We will feature you live on air. But the first one that was going viral around this Reddit thread is what you see on screen. Dragon Age Origins. Had no idea what it was all about. Picked it up because the cover looks cool. Became an all-timer.
Because that is an amazing game.
Yeah.
It is yes. It's such a downfall from there to Veilguard, unfortunately.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I think a lot of people don't revisit Dragon Age Origins or are a little skeptical about even wanting to jump into this game because if you did the bod, yeah, I'm kind of with you. I'd be like, I don't know if I want to play another Dragon Age anytime soon. But if you skipped over this or if you never played it, yeah, I'm with you, HenricK. Like, this is a fantastic game. And if you have no idea about the universe, what are you waiting for? This is the whole point about this thread. You don't need to go in with any kind of pre-knowledge. You're going to love it. Just like this game. Control. Oh, my gosh. This is a great choice. I remember having zero idea what the hell Control was all about. And I'm telling you, don't even look up the synopsis. Don't even look up a plot line. Go in with the lights off. Immerse yourself in the gameplay. You will have a fantastic time, and I'm really looking forward to like what it almost seems like a new Melee change in direction when it comes to the sequel.
Yeah, it's really exciting to see what they do with the sequel for sure. And what's so funny about this game is I only ever saw it in like benchmark videos. People would show how like performances on certain hardware versus other hardware, and then I got the game in a Humble Bundle one month, and I was like, you know what? Let's give it a try. Amazing game. Definitely a game you got to play.
Yeah,
and I waited too long.
And then this one, the original Fear years ago. And I think a lot of people have been kind of asking for this to make a revival. It's too bad, there's no Blue Point Games. But if
Warner Brothers is not probably going to ever touch a game again. So we'll see.
Well, now that there's a new change in the guard in a sense, Netflix was trying to build on that gaming library, and I feel like if they had Warner Brothers games, maybe they would have set sail in a good direction, or maybe they would have been capsized off the plank. Either way, we will never know because now Paramount's back in the game. But yeah, Fear. Holy cow. Fear is something that if you were there, oh man, what a time to be alive.
It was something when it came out. Yeah.
It was definitely something. And that child still fears me to this day. She's just a creepy gal. And then Balatro for me. What do you mean? This silly little Joker game is one of the most addicting games of all time. This game that was made by literally one dude 3 months later. Good Lord, I've forgotten what it's like to not be thinking about Balatro for More than 10 seconds. Yeah, this one's kind of a sleeper. I'm not like always like running to play, card games in a sense. When it first came out, I was like, oh gosh, a mobile game being pushed for a console or a PC port. What is there to offer? But it's fantastic. Wouldn't you say, Henrik?
Oh yeah, I mean, the looks are really unassuming for how fun that game can be.
Fair enough,
You
yeah.
just, like this comment said, can find yourself addicted to it. 10 minutes, you say, can turn into 2 hours. So
Yeah, I'm
quickly in
always
that
teasing
game.
my mom for playing solitaire and spider solitaire 24/7, like for all of her life. It's like, I think it's time to switch it up. I think I'm gonna have to get you Balatro. Okay, Mom? If you're listening, I might have to get you the game. You need to find a new card game in your life. And then the next one is Slay the Spire. Oh, if it wants to even switch over right now.
Yes.
Slay the Spire.
Peak.
This
Peak.
one, yeah, it's definitely made that emergence, especially they had a sequel as well. I mean,
That's announced, yeah.
Yeah, that was now. Excuse me, I misspoke in there. And so, yeah, I mean, if you have what are you waiting for? If you want to jump into this kind of space, it is there and doesn't require any kind of knowledge jumping into the game. And then
This is a roguelike deck builder, by the way, just so people know what it is.
yeah. I'm glad you referenced that because I'm all like jumping all fast here. And Katamari Damacy. All I had heard was that it was weird with an amazing soundtrack. Very true. I've never played this game. So
Oh, you're missing out, Chris. This is a game you should play at some point.
Okay, because I'm looking at this and I'm like, what in the Nintendo Switch is going on here?
It was actually on the PlayStation.
I know.
I'm pretty sure.
I know. When I started doing, I didn't want to look too much into it because I felt like that would defeat the whole purpose around this whole thread, right? No pre-knowledge.
That's true.
Like, I would
Yeah.
be breaking that cardinal sin in a sense when it comes to this topic. But Henrik, what's the random pick you downloaded with no expectation that turned into a highly recommended title for everyone to play?
Oh, well, for me, this is definitely going to go to Nier Automata. My friend was like, hey, I think you should play Nier Automata. I think you'd like it. I'm like, I don't even know what that game is. Well, 40 plus hours later, it is one of the top 3 of all games in my list of games of all time. So definitely a recommend from me. If you've only heard about the game, go play it. You're missing out.
Man, with no pre-knowledge back in the day, I feel like, or now, you could say, this is such a hard question for me. I don't know why right now, but I guess my gut's telling me when I remember growing up on the PSP and even on the PS2 era, it was the Navy SEALs. Oh my gosh, what was it called? CCOM. Oh gosh, I should have done my research before I jumped on. But I remember when that game, nobody really knew what it was, but it was just like, you gotta buy it. And like when you play that game, that was like the best like co-op experience with your friends. And I remember we're running around my buddy's townhouses trying to steal the Wi-Fi passwords from other neighbors so we can go and kick it out in the grass, away from the pad and just kind of have our own time touching grass, I guess you could say. But that was like some of the like more fun experiences out there. But what is a game out there, gamers, that you love? They had like no pre-knowledge of the game. You just kind of bought it on impulse. Let us know what's good. But man, we got to thank everybody that it always tunes in live every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, because without your support, gamers, this show would not be possible. And we just want to highlight our QR codes one last time. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a live show.
And you see that QR code down there, so why are you not scanning it? Go scan it, go to my YouTube channel, watch some videos, let me know how they are. Come on, I'm waiting.
That's right. And we will see you next week for another amazing jam-packed show. And for everybody that's always tuning in live on Meta, Twitch, and YouTube, we love you, fam. So for all the players and the gamers all around the world, we are signing off, but have a great rest of the week, and we will see you soon, fam. Peace.
See ya.